don't know how I want to start this. I've been avoiding making one of these because I just feel like the world didn't need another here's my why I quit my job story or whatever. But then I was like, I'm not making it for the world, I'm making it for my community, I'm making it for y'all. So, you know, here it is. And I hope that it serves some kind of purpose for somebody because I don't like just doing stuff for no reason. It's not for no reason. Anyway, I've been doing content creation for a long time, man. Like since 2016, like since really before that, because I wanted to start it when I was in college, but I didn't have like the courage to do it by myself, and I wanted a group to do it with me. I'm not gonna tell the whole story because it's gonna be like a long story if I do that. But anyway, the goal has always been like for my career to be just being myself. Like how can I make it in life by just like being myself? That's always been the goal. And like content creation was my thing for doing that. You know, like some people's thing is like singing, or like some people think is like, you know, playing an instrument, like that's their like embodiment of creative energy. Like mine is content creation, like making these skits. Like the first time that I made a skit, it wasn't even a skit. Like I was in second grade. I know, like, you know, if you have a thing, then you have a story like this. Like when I was in second grade, we had like a puppet show. We made like these puppets and like a whole show out of like paper. I remember like when I went on to do mine, I was nervous and I'm like doing the puppets and like people laughing. Like that was my first time making people laugh, and I was like, man, I like that. And like that's the thing that became like the thing that I got away from, is my inner child that I had to get back to. And like I got back to it when Vine became a thing. How did I get back into the backstory? Anyway, I might as well finish. Like I got back into it when Vine became a thing, and I remember seeing like Caleb City and just like a bunch of creators. I remember seeing them like, man, I really want to do this. I like this, and I started. Fast forward, the job. I got my master's degree. I got my bachelor's degree. It was supposed to be education. It wasn't because of complications. Ended up being like general studies, and then I went on to get a master's degree in education, curriculum, and instruction. Did I say that right? I feel like I didn't say that right. Master's degree in education, curriculum, instruction. Yeah. So anyway, got that, and I taught from like 2016 up till last year. I was a teacher. Like I taught, man, kindergarten, like pre-kindergarten, 5th grade, high school, and I was getting my degree, 8th grade for 3 years. That whole time I was making videos. Like I was making videos on the side. It was like my side thing. And at that point, I was like, man, how do I make this a side hustle? Like, how do I get paid making these videos on the side? I would like that. And I'm saying that to myself because like I didn't have the confidence to be like, I want to do this. Like at that time, I wasn't confident enough to be like, I want this to be the thing I'm doing. So I'm just like, how do I get like money off this? I like doing this and I would like to get paid. Like anybody that's doing something, you're doing it because you like it and you wouldn't mind getting money from it. It's just like facts, and that's how I felt. And I can't even say I figured out how to do it. Like it just started happening. Like I got people reaching out to me like via email, like you know, would you like to promote this, or like would you know, like want to be a part of this project, you know. And like at that point I'm learning the game, because they reach out to me and they like asking my price. I'm like, I don't know, like how do I price this? I'm on Reddit, like how do you price, like, every time I need an answer for something I go to Reddit. How do you price a video on Instagram? Like I don't know. Like at that point I didn't know anything. I'm just like thankful that it's happening. So like I was getting like $150 to do certain projects. Like some of them was like multiple like multi-tier projects. Like I'm getting like callbacks and stuff like that, and I was enjoying that, man. I love it. And still at this point I wasn't confident enough to like be like, you know what, I'm gonna just do this. Like I was thankful for what I was getting because I didn't know how I got there, and I was just like happy to be there because that's where I wanted to be. So like I was good. I was good being where I was. And like after a few more years, I got my first viral video. That was in like 2021 or 2020. I don't know. It was that Soulja Boy skit. And I was like, man, like that was like, when that first happened, it was like, wow, that's amazing. But I didn't treat it like anything. And this is going back to that confidence thing. Like I didn't have the confidence to be like, wow, I did this, I'm gonna keep doing this. Like when it happened, I was like, wow, I'm just gonna be thankful for this. Like the mindset that I had at the time, like it wasn't what it needed to be for me to take the leap that I took eventually. So like at that point, I was like, I'm so thankful to go viral. I'm not gonna do nothing about it. I'm just like accept it for what it is. Can't even say it was a mistake, because this whole thing was like a learning process. Just like learning how to conduct myself as I like grow, how I want to grow, like how do I want to like be viewed, how do I want to be viewed as a creator, you know what I mean, like all of that. And man, like a few more years pass by, I'm still teaching and doing content creation, and I finally got the urge. I got that urge to make that leap. Like really just a couple years ago. Cause like it was a year like my account had grown to 50K, and like I was getting like the biggest offers I'd ever got. Like I remember on my birthday, I was supposed to be with my girl and we was gonna go to Austin. Like love being in Austin. Shout out to Austin. Anyways, like on my birthday, I got an email from, I don't know who it was, somebody representing like Cactus Jack, which is Travis Scott's label. They were doing an HBCU thing at Minute Maid Park in Houston. And they were like, you want to come and like be in the press box and like watch the game and like promote Dune 2 for us? And I was like, what? Yes, like all that for free? Like I had never been to a baseball stadium before. I walked in there and went up the elevator into the box for free because I made funny videos. I'm like, man, this is crazy. And then like a few months after that, I ended up getting contacted from Disney, and like y'all saw the things that I was doing with Disney. Like they flew me out to Disney. I got to meet the owners of stuff like at Disney Park for free, doing stuff for free, staying there for free, like all because I make videos. Like you know how they say it can happen overnight, but it might take 10 years to get to that night. That's what it felt like. It felt like I finally got to that point that I had been working up to, and I didn't really know, like, I don't know, like in my mind, I'm like, I want to do this like full time, but how? Because in my mind, like I needed that job. I wasn't confident enough to quit. And I didn't have what I have now, which I'm grateful for, the confidence. I didn't have that then. Like I was so worried about everything. And I remember like one of my friends, like David, shout out David, we talk every now and then. And he was just like, bro, I know what you want to do. I know what your goals are. Like, why are you not doing that? Why are you not pursuing that? And I was just like saying dumb stuff. I was like, I got bills to pay. I was like, just like, it wasn't dumb at the time, but like thinking about it now, it's like passing up on something that I really wanted to do because I wasn't sure how I would pay my bills. Like it sounds insane now. It made sense at the time because in my mind I needed that job. I don't know how to really convey what I'm saying, but I remember he sent me this video by Earl Nightingale. It's called The Strangest Secret in the World, and it's a video about goals. I ain't gonna go into the whole thing, but like if you watch it, it's just a really good video about having goals. And after I watched that video that he sent me, I realized I didn't have a real goal for what I was doing. So from that like point, from watching that video, I started to like really be serious about my goals. And I realized as I was doing that, as I was in that process, I didn't have a goal because I wasn't confident enough to believe in myself, to believe that I could achieve the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like going back to what I was saying earlier, this is the point that I'm talking about, like my mindset. I didn't believe that I could. I wanted to, but my wanting to and my belief that I could do it were so far miles apart. Like I would say I wanted to do something and I would feel a literal sinking feeling in my chest from not believing that I could. Why am I getting emotional right now? Why am I feeling things? I'm not gonna cry on camera. This is not what this is. This is not an emotional video. But I didn't believe in myself, man. Like I didn't like the way that I believe in myself now, thinking about the way that I saw myself then. It's sad. It is sad. I didn't think that, like, even though all these things are happening and like I'm getting all these reach outs and getting all these opportunities, I didn't believe that I could do this. Like I had never invested that kind of effort into believing in myself. I invested all my effort into the job and getting a degree because I need this degree to have a good job, to make it in life. Not saying that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But I was doing all that stuff because it's what I thought I needed to do. I had never developed my own desire to do things for myself. I was like looking at a map that was given to me, like, this is the way you're supposed to do it, Phoenix. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, do this, do this, do this. And I was doing all that, and it was leaving me empty because of what I really wanted. And I wasn't giving myself what I really wanted because I didn't believe that I could have it. You understand me? And that is so sad to think about. And I'm so thankful for where I'm at right now. But anyway, I remember going back to the birthday thing. I remember, like, after we left the stadium, I'm with my girl, and we're driving to Austin. And I remember getting this feeling that I hadn't felt since high school. And the feeling was when I was playing football, and like I was really bad at catching. Like, I was good at tackling, but I was horrible at catching. I remember like wanting to be a receiver. So I'm like, I'm gonna get better this summer. I'm gonna get better at catching. And I was doing that. I was getting like noticed by the coaches. They were like, man, Finney's doing good. We're gonna put him on the roster. I'm like, bet. I remember we got to our first scrimmage. Like, a scrimmage, if you don't know, it's like a practice game before the season starts. We got to our first scrimmage, and I remember like being on the sideline, and coach was in the huddle with the other players. And he yelling at the sideline. He's not talking to me, but he's saying, I need a receiver. I need a receiver. And I knew that was for me. Like, I knew that was for me to go out on the field and just go, and like, even if I wasn't gonna do good, just like go and like start my journey of doing what I want to do to be a receiver. I didn't go. I stood there and I didn't go because I was scared. I don't know what I was scared of. I wasn't scared of getting hit because I played free safety on defense. I was like first team. I was running full speed to people happily. I don't know what I was afraid of, but I didn't go. And I remember thinking after that, because I was so devastated, if I ever feel that again, like I'm getting called to do something, I am not going to ignore it, no matter what it is. And I got that feeling, like while I'm driving to Austin, I got that feeling about quitting my job. And I was like, oh God. Like, it's like, you would think I wouldn't be afraid because I've already like experienced it. I was terrified because I didn't have a real concrete physical reason for me to quit that job. And that's what made it so difficult, because there was like good work environment. I was getting good pay. I'm in a leadership position, and I didn't have a reason to be like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm quitting. And that's what made it so difficult. Like, cause it had to be a decision for me to just be like, hey y'all, I'm gonna quit. Like, that made it so hard because there was no reason. Like, not no reason, I had a reason, but like, you know what I'm saying? No outside reason. Like, most people be like, oh, I hate this job, or my boss sucks, or the pay sucks. Like, everything was good. Like, everything was straight. And I was like, you know what? I'm quit. and that just made it so hard to like really do. And I had to like build myself up to that for like a couple months, because all this like was in February. My birthday was in February, but like through March and like May was like when I had to like build myself up to do it. Like, I don't really know how to say like I felt like that was God talking, because I feel like everybody hears God in a different way. When it's God, it's like beyond your ability to quantify and explain. That's how you know, because you can't really tell nobody like what it sound like or what it feel like. It just is, and that's what it was. So I got the feeling. I went in at the end of the school year. I went in, talked to my AP. That's like the assistant principal, the person that's above me. And I was like giving her my reason for like, you know, I'm gonna quit, I'm not gonna come back. And I had to do that because if I didn't, like I'm in a leadership position. So if I didn't quit that job, I knew that I was on track to go higher up. And I knew that if I went higher up, then me being who I am, I was gonna take it super serious, and I was gonna stop everything else that I had going on. And I didn't want to do that because I like making these videos, and I like being like funny on the internet, and I like, you know, just being me. So I came to a literal fork in the road where it was either be a content creator or go like on track to be like an assistant principal. That's what it was about to be, because that was like the next step for me. And if I'm an assistant principal, I'm not gonna be like making funny videos on the internet. I don't know, like not the way that I like to do it. I was gonna have to like adjust it, and it's like, I don't know, it was like too much thinking involved. It was like a choice I had to make. Oh, and I forgot to say, like, another thing was like I made a promise to myself because I started getting like more money from like partnerships, because I partnered with like Hulu and like the Hash Alarm Clock and just like Circle K, like, and I was like, man, if I end up making enough money to supplement my income, I'm gonna quit. Like I told myself this like in February as well, and that happened. So it's like everything that needed to happen for me to like decide to quit happened, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and I did it, and like that was a year ago, and I don't regret it. It's like the best decision I ever made in my life, because I really felt like for the first time I chose me, for like lack of a more advanced phrase, like I chose myself, and um it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, because I thought I was like, I'm gonna quit this job and I'm gonna go hard with content creation, and I'm just gonna be like pushing videos out every day, yada yada yada. And I started doing that, and I started feeling the same stress that I was feeling on the job, and I was like, don't like that. And that made me think like, dang, did I make the wrong decision? But I ended up being led, I don't even remember how, but I ended up being like led to like different resources that helped me understand that the videos were not all that I quit for, because I ended up discovering so much of myself, because there was like so much time and energy and mental capacity that I dedicated to the job, that I didn't realize how much of that I didn't dedicate just to my own mental health and emotional health. And I ended up like really like discovering myself, man. Like I read this book called The Game of Life and How to Play It, and like that book like really helped me like jumpstart my mental health journey. Like I started journaling and just like getting like better at knowing myself, you know what I mean? Like, and I just read different books. There was another book, I can't really remember the name of it, another short book. There's a book that I'm reading like still, it's called Life Beyond Suffering. It's a meditation guide. Like just books like that like helped me to really look within myself and like find peace, and like finding that peace is like allowing me to see the joy in doing like the content creation and stuff like that, and like be comfortable on this journey, because it's not always easy, man. Like sometimes I wake up and I'm like, man, what am I doing? I had benefits. Like I quit that job, and you know what I'm saying, I can get my mind right after that, because like I'm not going back. But yeah, it's just like it's not the easiest thing, but it's not bad at all, because if there's a thing that a person wants to do and it's what they want and they choose that, there's no way that can feel bad. The only way that it feels bad is because of like the outside conditioning of things that have been ascribed to your being, that these are things that like you need, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh man, I need to have a steady salary. This ain't gonna work, but not really, because it's working, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure that's true of like any entrepreneurial endeavor. Like it's not always predictable, but it's never regrettable, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm happy to be here. I think I said everything. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Yeah, thanks for watching this. Please keep watching my skits. I'm very funny.